Hey guys, welcome to the Arcade City podcast. Today is great. Kevin is back. Hey Kevin.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Um, you were away for a couple weeks there. We had some fill-ins for you.
Great.
Did some gaming talk, did some tech talk. We realized while you were gone that Bing has some cars that drive around, like the Google cars for the mapping that I was caught on. So I became the Sasquatch slash Wookiee of Bing.
Really?
Um, yeah, I was not visible yet at the time of the recording, but it happened a couple days prior. So, you know, at some point, I'm imagining I will be on Bing Maps, and that's not all that impressive because the only way you end up on Bing is by mistake usually. I don't think
Right.
anybody
Yeah, I was
uses
saying.
it.
They're desperately trying to copy Google, aren't they?
Yes. So yeah. So we had a lot of stuff going on while you were gone. We're gonna cover the most important stuff, I think, and some of the stuff that I specifically saved for when you were back. I didn't want to get into any Marvel, DC talk, any of that stuff while you were gone. Um, I wanted to save that, especially for you.
Gosh,
But
thank
I
you.
know you had some family stuff going on. Everything is okay.
Yep, everything is good.
Okay.
Dad had a little health issue, and we went down there. We were planning on going for a visit anyway. We just ended up going a little earlier and staying a little longer. But all seems to be good, and glad to be back.
Good Father's Day. Happy
Yeah.
belated Father's Day.
As to you, yeah, spent it with my dad, so that was good. The girls actually gave me their present before we even left because we drove down to Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave me a coffee mug that looked like a lens to a camera.
Oh,
Yeah, it was kind of.
nice.
At first, I thought it was a camera lens. I'm like, wow, this is nice. And then I go, oh, wait a minute, this is a coffee mug. It was still nice. It was good.
Cool. Yeah, I got
And you?
a little Superman craft, and like one of those little oh, I don't know what you call it. It's like a little plaster thing that the girls painted for me,
Cool.
um, and then cards and whatnot around
Right.
that. Um, Also, while you're gone, I know you are not a big horror fan,
No.
but Friday the 13th passed.
Yep.
Um, I sent you a funny little meme that I saw from I don't know what is that, the Geico camel or something like that.
Yeah.
That annoying camel that shows up everywhere, even the movie theaters now.
Hmm.
Um, with Jason, and it says, "What day is it?" And the camel saying, "Oh hell no!" And he says, "You're on your own, Mike," or something like that. Um, I indulged in a night of Friday the 13th movies that day. We were trying to find something at the Red Box. Didn't find anything, came home, and one of the, I've said before, we don't have cable, so the big rabbit ears on the 74-inch TV pulled up like whatever the local movies is the name of the channel or whatever. They were doing a marathon of um, Friday the 13th movies. And surprisingly, I had completely forgotten that Corey Feldman was in two of them as a young boy,
Did not know
which
that.
I had forgotten. Also, other things going on right now. The big thing is everybody's going nuts, I guess, for the World Cup. So that's going on. I see. I like.
Huh, what? Huh?
See, I like rugby and soccer, so this is a lot more exciting to me than anything else that goes. I'm not a big football fan or anything, so this is kind of my time of year,
Oh,
uh,
okay. Well,
and
you're
I get lost in it a little bit, but
your time every 4 years, right? Doesn't it's the World Cup
well,
is
true. Um, well, we have rugby every year though, so
Oh, okay.
but
Well,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
But yeah, as far as the World Cup goes, yes. Um, so so that's all that's going on really. We had a big discussion. I was trying to figure out what movie to go see. I know you went to go see Dragons 2. I got sucked in to go see Maleficent. Um, so I know we're going to be a little bit uh, not spoiling things for each other, but how'd you feel
right.
about Dragons 2?
How to Train Your Dragon 2 was, I believe, just as good as the first one, and I really loved the first one, and this one was just like right there. And that's hard in a sequel. I mean, normally say that, but I enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed the first one. Everybody voice characters came back, and the animation was fantastic. I don't. We saw it in 3D. Although
Uh,
honestly, I don't. I don't know. I don't know that I would notice if I was not watching it in 3D. Maybe I would. I don't know. Anymore, 3D to me, I usually go see it, but then at the end of it, I go, oh yeah, that's right. I was watching this in 3D. Did I notice anything different because I'm watching it in 3D?
so
And
nothing really came popping out.
no, and it seems like anymore it doesn't. It just kind of maybe it enhances the movie. When you first watch it, I think you notice it, like during the trailers, and then when the first thing comes on. But then after a while, it just starts to blend in, and I just wonder, well, was it worth the extra $2 or whatever it was to watch this in 3D? And
Yeah.
probably not. But
I think it's harder with computer animation anyways, since it's already 3D looking.
right,
I noticed it a lot more. We went when they re-released The Lion King in 3D, and that was noticeable because it was, that's 2D anyway. So, that was more noticeable to me in 3D because things were popping out more. And I've griped about it a little bit here and there. Just 3D today isn't what 3D was back in the 80s, when things actually came jumping off the screen at you.
yeah. Well, they don't make well, to a certain extent, I don't think they make the movies to do that.
Yeah.
They just do a normal movie and they just put it in 3D, and I'm sure there's a little bit more depth that you would normally see. I know that I saw Tangled
Mm-hmm.
in 3D, and they did it really with the, I don't know, you've probably seen it a bazillion times, but
Oh
when
yes.
they did the lanterns off the water and it floats around,
Yep.
that 3D effect was fantastic. That looked really good. And that one actually was like, hey, I'm gonna reach out and grab one of those. But I think that's the last time I ever had any really honest to God reaction to 3D. So
Yeah.
it makes me wonder why I continue to go see them in 3D. But
You wanna go see Maleficent, by the way?
yeah, my daughters saw it and they said it was fantastic.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that because I wasn't sure by watching the trailers if it was going to be really good or not.
And it's not, we had spoken before about if it was going to be scary or whatever for the kids. It
Right.
really wasn't. It pretty much followed the Sleeping Beauty story in a weird way, though.
Right.
And then of course it was based around Maleficent, and it was just, I don't know, I can't spoil anything, but it was just so good. Like I walked out there, I was like, oh, like I wasn't expecting that. Like I didn't expect it to be that good, and I thought it was really good. Um, the effects were really good. The colors that they used, like they used some neon colors and stuff like that at times, and it worked really really well. Some of the 3D stuff, you know how sometimes it is with mixing 3D-ish type animated characters with real D, and it being a Disney movie, you had a little bit of that. I don't know if that really fits in this world with some of the characters, but overall, everything was pretty good. There were like a couple little characters I was like, yeah, he looks really out of place. He doesn't look as real as that animated character that they have right there. But other than that, everything looked really good.
I'll definitely go see it. I'll probably take my girls to go see it again, and because I'm sure they want to go see it again, so I'll go catch it. But hopefully, it won't be out of the theaters. It's funny because as I think we talked about last time, I saw the first hour of X-Men: Days of Future Past, and I
Hey,
haven't. I
guess
haven't.
what? I saw the whole thing.
Did you?
And Spider-Man.
I was gonna go last night to go see it, and I'm looking at the times, and it's like it's almost out of the movie theaters,
Which is amazing because it's getting such good reviews.
and it's only been in there a month maybe. It's
Yeah.
like they don't stay in the theaters very long.
No.
So now I'm like, okay, well, do I go to the one time I can go see it locally, or do I just wait for it to come out on DVD now because it'll probably be out on DVD in a month?
Yeah.
So anyway, I might try to go see it. Maybe I'll go see it tonight because I want to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you saw Spider-Man 2?
I saw everything. I am,
Wow.
besides Captain America, I am caught up.
You haven't seen Captain America?
Listen,
That's
I
the
saw
best
Disney
one.
Pass. I don't. Days of Future Past was pretty good, and I'll
It,
say
it,
for as much crap as we've given Quicksilver, he had
he
like
had the best.
one of the best scenes, if not the best scene, in that whole movie, and he wasn't done badly because of when you realize what time frame it is.
No, it
But
was great. Yeah, no, I liked his, and I think that was only, I think he was only in the first hour. Maybe he
yeah,
had, but his big
yeah.
scene was in that first hour, and that was fantastic. I can't wait to see what Marvel does with him. Did
They,
they ever actually call him Quicksilver though? They
um,
called him Peter, but his real name is Pietro. But did they actually call him Quicksilver in that movie? I can't remember.
I
I don't think they did.
I don't remember honestly. I wasn't paying that close attention because I was just waiting to see him and then like dog on his character, and then I was like, well, actually, it makes sense because the year that they're in
Right.
and how he would have to look for that time, and you can't make him look all futuristic for that time, and it just it
Basically,
made a lot of sense.
basically, he is just another. He was a mutant that had super speed. They could have really used anybody.
Yeah.
And again, so I'm wondering if did they use this? Did they use his? I think they called him Peter, like I said, but I don't remember them calling him uh, Quicksilver. So really, I don't think anybody's gonna get confused when Quicksilver is in the next Avengers movie. I don't think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So that movie was really good. Spider-Man 2 was what it was.
hmm.
I was about it. Um,
Yeah, that was I was
and
kind of the same thing.
and it was and the thing that just kind of really got me was like I've said before, I'm a fan of Rhino. Rhino didn't work out for me for the small amount he was in this movie.
Right.
It was like a letdown, but it got a little dusty in my house when Spider-Man was gone for a while and Rhino was wreaking terror there, and the little kid showed up in the Spider-Man suit.
Hmm.
Uh, and Spider-Man shows up, and I was like, "Oh man, that's so good." I got a little teary.
Oh.
It was touching for me. I don't know why. Probably because
No,
I
it was
have
good.
kids,
It
and
was,
my daughter is a Spider-Man freak. So
and that kind of called back to comics, so that was all right. I didn't have a problem with it. It definitely is a 50-50 movie. There was some good stuff, but there was also some. They rushed the big reveal, the big plot thing. To me, again,
yes,
was once again rushed. I thought they might save that until the third movie, but they didn't. I don't even
hmm
know if it's something we can spoil or not. I think most people probably know, but we'll keep it. We'll keep it
no, we
under
can go.
wraps for now.
Let's go with it.
Okay.
It's
So spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the movie. We'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
okay.
2,
Go.
1. Okay. Yeah, so Gwen Stacy dies.
Yes.
I wondered if that was going to happen when I saw some of the previews for it. Again, I thought it would be, a little. I thought that was a little quick. But what are you going to do? But she did die the way she died in the comics, the exact same way. He caught her with a web, but broke her neck when he was doing that. And
Did she fall off a bridge in the comics though, or was that
yeah,
different?
it was yeah. The Green Goblin knocked her off of a bridge.
Okay.
Not
And
whatever.
was it Norman or Harry in the comics? That
It
was the
was
other thing.
Norman,
Okay.
not Harry. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was his father. And then like right after that, Norman is killed. He gets impaled by his own goblin glider. That didn't happen though in this one. Yeah, right, because Harry is still alive, and
Yeah.
the whole Green Goblin thing. He was trying to cure a disease that his family has. I didn't even get that. That's nothing like the comics. So, I Marvel has done the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done tweaking to the origins to kind of make them more up to date. But for the most part, they're intact. Sony with Spider-Man and I maybe not so much with the X-Men, but it's kind of hard to really mess those up. But though I don't know why people have to like stray so much from the source material when it comes to origins. I mean, Harry Osborn or I'm sorry, Norman Osborn basically developed some sort of formula that gave him strength and he went crazy, but it
hmm
wasn't because he had some disease that made him look like a goblin. And he wasn't looking for a cure for this, which is what gave him his abilities. I didn't care so much for that part of it, and
You know, I think that part of it in the movie, The only reason it made sense was I think that going into the Sinister Six movie, that they're going to use that as they created uh, Electro the way they
Yeah.
did, like with the it has to do with that serum or whatever.
There'll be one
It was all
song.
tied into it was all tied in together somehow.
Right. There's one
Um,
common theme they're going to use
yeah.
for.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's
I
fine.
wasn't into the look of the Green Goblin,
No, I
but
don't
I
think.
did like the actor who played
Yeah.
Harry. I thought he was good. I like him. I want to see more of him, but it just the way I don't know. I hope he develops more or something as a character.
He looks like he's stoned all the time.
Uh, they can get Seth Rogen to do it then, I guess.
Yeah. Or
Um,
maybe the guy is stoned all the time. I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, so it was a mix. I'm totally. I would say I can wait until Spider-Man 3 comes out. I don't. I guess they're going to. I don't know what they're going to pick up on with the next one, but
yeah, this didn't leave me wanting like, oh, I can't wait for the next one. Like at the end of the first one, I was like that. This one was kind of
yeah, the first one I was too. I was like, oh, that was really good. I was more surprised with the first one. The second one was, like I said, it's okay. It
I
wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
I think if they could have everything that I liked about the movie could have been rushed. You know, everything up until the point she died could have been broken down. When she died, when Gwen Stacy died, and then Spider-Man goes away. I like that. And then when he came back at the end, like I said, with the little kid, I was like I don't know, I just got this like feeling over me, and I was like, oh man, this is so good. And then the only part that ruined that was how Rhino looked. And I was like,
I didn't have that big.
oh,
I didn't have that big of a problem with the Rhino.
oh,
I
I
didn't
did.
think it was that bad. I mean, I like it. I like the original better. I'm with you on that. I wish they'd just done that, but I didn't think it was too bad, and I kind of
With
like the
the
way
with the guns and everything, it was a little overkill for me.
I
Um,
like the way they the way they bookended the movie. With Flint Marko at the beginning. No, it's not Flint Marko. Whoever the Rhino is, um, Flint Marko is Sandman. Uh, anyway, the guy at the beginning and then at the end. I actually kind of like
yep.
that bookmark,
Hmm.
bookends. But I don't know. Like I said, when the next one comes out, we'll see. But I
Yeah.
don't think it did very well box office. I don't remember looking at the numbers on it, but I don't think it was that big of a hit.
I don't know. All I've seen is Days of Future Past, like constantly in my news feeds
Yeah,
about how
it's
good it is. It's the best one so far. Blah blah blah. So I mean, out of the two, I would guess that the X-Men movie did a lot better.
yeah, I think so.
Um, and you didn't see the whole thing yet, so we'll talk about that next time. Um, now with Dragons 2, were there any good trailers going on? Anything that
The
we might not have seen
only
yet?
well, let me think about this for a second because I can never remember them. I saw the trailer for Annie that I've seen about a million times now,
Hmm.
um, which is the new. I don't know if you've seen this, but the Black Annie. If you want to go right
Yes.
into it, and it actually looks kind of good. I'm sure I'll take the girls to go see that.
Yep.
Saw the trailer for Box Trolls, but this is a new trailer for Box Trolls. So we've talked about Box Trolls before, and the way they, the one trailer was basically how they made it, how they animated it, which was all really cool. But I was like, I'm not really getting into these characters that much. I got tired of seeing the trailer. So
Hmm.
I saw a trailer that actually had the storyline to the Box Trolls, and I'm a little bit more interested now. The storyline looked kind of neat, and the animation and all the effects, stop motion, looked kind of neat. I don't know that I'm gonna go see it, but I was a little bit. I liked it better than the first trailer, which was really just showing how they made it. So
Yeah, I'm like I said before. I'm always interested in that stuff. Whenever Luck High puts out something, I'm completely into it. Just because I like that stop animation feel of things, and they're like, the little robots. It's not done on a computer. It's actually all done by hand, for the most part. There are some, effects and stuff in there, but I just like that whole thing. I did see one for um, it's called Big Hero 6,
mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you had looked this up and seen it yet. It's kind of like this kid. He's building this real big badass robot, and then he's like waiting for it to come through the door, and it's like this big globby, like it looks like the Michelin Man almost looking thing.
Yeah,
And he gets
I
this
did
arm,
look at this.
and he's trying to fit the armor to it and everything, and I don't know, it was, for what I saw, it was a real short trailer, and it didn't really give you too much into the story, but it just looked something like, it looked like something cute for the kids to go see. And both um my older daughter, my younger daughter, or not my youngest, but my middle, number two out of
Okay.
three. The two oldest ones said that they wanted to go see it, so that'll probably be something to go see. They kind of laughed at it. It was a little, funny trailer.
You know that
Also,
that's a Marvel property, right?
no, I did not.
Yes, that's Marvel, the Marvel Studios' first foray into animation.
Hmm.
So
So it'll be good.
so it's inspired by a Marvel comic line, which I've never read, but it is Marvel Comics. So
Um,
that's good news. It said Disney at the top, so but I don't think it said Marvel. I don't remember seeing the
yeah.
Marvel logo go across there. So
No, I didn't remember seeing one either. That's why maybe I just wasn't paying attention, or figuring out all the snacks at the time that the previews were playing. Um, drinks and popcorn and such. Then there was another trailer for. Now I've seen this before. It's called Book of Life. It's like a take on the Day of the Dead, um, and it has like this. It was weird before, like the trailer for it, because I didn't really understand what was going on. This one was a little bit more in depth and let you understand the first trailer better. So if they would have done that in reverse, I think it would have been better
hmm.
to release this movie. Because when I was first seeing it, I was like, oh yeah, this looks like one of those animation movies that would be okay to rent. Now that I've seen the second trailer, I'm like, okay, well now it looks better to see. There's like a contest in the world of the dead about there's a main lady, and there are two gentlemen courting after her, and who is gonna win her heart. And one takes one person, one takes the other, and there's this whole thing where they kill one off in the trailer, to be unfair, I guess, in the game. So now that man cannot win her heart, and blah blah blah, and the whole story takes off from there in this second trailer. But that looked pretty good. Also, there was a very sneaky Disney trailer that was all about 30 seconds long, and all we saw was a glass slipper. Um, and then at the end it said Cinderella March 2015. So I guess coming off of Maleficent, we might get a lot more of these type properties.
Maybe I saw the movie poster for that, which sounds like the same as the trailer. It's just the shoe.
Yep.
Uh,
You
yeah,
could have just, yeah, they could
yeah,
have basically had someone walk in with the poster and go, hey,
right. There you
all right.
go.
Yeah, because that's all the trailer was for it. It didn't let you in on anything besides that it's coming next year in March.
Just a real
Uh,
quick update. Amazing Spider-Man 2 has made $199 million and change since it opened on May 2nd, whereas the X-Men Days of Future Past has made 218 million and change, and it opened on May 23rd. So definitely doing better.
yeah.
Although I thought the Days of Future Past has been the highest grossing X-Men, but that is still reserved for X-Men Last Stand, which is, I think,
Hmm.
probably the worst of the X-Men movies, if you don't
I would
count
agree.
Origins. So you don't count Origins with Wolverine.
Um,
'Cause
yeah,
that made,
I would agree with that statement.
yeah. So Last
um,
Stand made 234 million and change. So, um, I don't know. Days of Future Past, maybe it gets to there. I don't think it's going to at this point. But who knows? I don't know how long they'll keep it in theaters. And I'm assuming this is off of Box Office Mojo, so I'm assuming this is only at theaters, not does not count DVD sales or stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the worst of the Spider-Man movies as far as money. I mean, way off. I mean, the Amazing Spider-Man is the fourth ranked, and that was 262 million, where this Spider-Man 2 is 199. That's crazy.
Spider-Man 3 hopefully will be better. I think we can safely say, unless it gets really, really good looking, the Sinister Six will be a pass for most people. I know they want to grow that universe and
I'm
all
sure I'll
that, but
watch
I
it.
don't.
I'm
I
sure
will
I'll watch
watch
it.
it. I will see. Here's the thing. I will always watch
Hmm.
things, but as far as going to see them in the movie, I don't know that I can endorse that unless they look decent.
Yeah,
Um,
it's always a matter of, yeah. The way I would gauge it is, well, how quickly do I go see it after it opens? So
mhm,
like I saw the Winter Soldier the weekend the week after the weekend it opened. I will
mhm.
do probably the same for Guardians of the Galaxy because I can't wait for that one. Which is getting a little bit more. There's some more stuff that came out about that we
Yep,
actually haven't.
trailer. There's a new trailer,
I
and
haven't seen the new trailer, except I think I saw one that was on a commercial, like on
mhm.
TV, but I haven't watched anything online. I'm trying to kind of stay away from it. But I saw that they actually had Thanos announced as Josh Brolin,
Yep.
and there may be Nova may have a cameo in it. Although there
Yes,
was some,
I'd also heard that too.
yeah, they had one actor they thought was going to be the guy, Nathan Fillion, I think, but
Hmm.
it's but they've discounted that rumor. He's not playing Nova. So anyway, so I can't wait for that. That'll be good. And they're saying that could be a huge moneymaker for them. But they're doing this so right. They're waiting to see before they say anything else about sequels or signing anybody. They want to actually see what this thing does in the box office before they go any further with anything else.
Yep.
Although they have rumored that they will probably be in Avengers 3, because I think all of this leads. I think all of
There's
this
been,
stuff.
there's been a few rumors as
Yeah.
of late. And so I mean we can jump into that. Let me see here. Yeah. I'll just jump into the Marvel stuff right now since we're talking about it. So the rumors were Robert Downey Jr. had said he wrapped his part for Avengers 2,
Yep.
and that he was 2 days removed being unemployed,
Right.
which led to everybody freaking out. Oh my God, they're still filming. Does this mean he's killed off in Avengers 2? Does this mean that there was a aforementioned Iron Man 4? How is that going to plan out? Is what everybody's a buzz of what's going on with him and his character. Some things have been discredited as well. Maybe they just he was like a major part of Avengers 1, so maybe he's taking a little bit of a back seat in this one. Um,
Or
and
maybe they
and
just
maybe
filmed all his stuff all at once, and they're
yep. And they want to, he's a big, he's a big star as is everybody that's with this movie, but maybe they just got his stuff out of the way, and they got all the major stuff out of the way, and they want to concentrate on the other stuff now.
I don't.
They-
I hadn't heard any of this. So that surprises me. I guess I'm
yeah.
out of touch. But this thing, the Avengers 2: Age of Ultron, it's out. It's supposed to come out what in? I'm looking it up right now. Uh, well, let's see. In it's next year, and
Yep.
it is
That's
supposed. I thought it was like May.
August. Oh, is it May?
I
Okay, I
think
thought it
it's.
was a little bit later.
I could be wrong. I'm actually trying to look it up and I can't find it. But so when I saw that little note that he had wrapped up, I never even thought anything about it being an issue where like, oh, he's being killed off. I just I assumed they were done
Yeah.
because I'm figuring editing and uh, and all that has to go along with that and special effects, and then they go and they do all the rest of the movie magic
Hmm.
after that. So yeah, it's supposed to be out May 1st. So this is
Okay.
less than a year away. They got to get all the rest of the stuff done. So
Yep.
I do people just make up stuff? Just make up stuff?
I think it was just the fact that he said he was unemployed for 2 days.
Yeah,
He's
I
two
think
days for being like unemployed, and everybody kind of jumped on, like, oh my God, he's unemployed. But I mean, he could have meant that in the sense of I wrapped. I don't have a job right now.
right. I'm
They're
not
not,
making a
they're not,
movie.
they're not jumping him right into an Iron Man 4 movie at this point.
Yeah.
They had mentioned an Iron Man 4 before, but so it's all stemming around. Oh my God, he's wrapped so early. The movie isn't done yet. Why would he be done? I don't know if people don't realize that they shoot movies out of sequence anyway.
Right, right.
They don't go frame by frame and do
No.
the movie like that. So I don't know if this is coming from just people not understanding how movies are made,
Yeah, that's a bunch of
or
huge ignorance and people
yeah,
just wanting to make something out of nothing. I took that as a joke. I'm unemployed. That's what
yeah,
actors are when they're done with their roles.
yeah.
And then I saw a clip from him, a movie that he and I think his wife produced. I forgot what it was called, but it looked kind of cool. The trailer was him and like playing a lawyer somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. That looks really good.
Yeah.
Um,
So bring that. And when is Sherlock Holmes 3 coming out? I want to see that. If there is one.
I have no idea.
Yeah, just put him in a movie, in any movie, whether he's Tony Stark or not. I'm gonna watch it because I think he's a really good actor.
You could just put him on, not even a sitcom, just put him on TV sitting in a chair,
Well,
like looking through news stories or something, just laughing, and people would probably tune in at this point.
oh,
Um,
yeah, here
you know,
Sherlock Holmes 3 has been announced. Okay, good. Nothing more about it, but that.
yeah. So yeah, so he's whatever's going on or whatever, I'm not worried about it. Like I said before, I hope that he sticks around. I think it's going to be really hard for whoever comes in to replace a Tony Stark if that's what they're doing, or they're gonna, however they're gonna reboot Tony Stark when Robert Downey Jr. leaves or whatever. However they're gonna do that, but they have said point blank from producers, directors, everything from Marvel that they think that Iron Man is like a new Spider-Man or a Batman character. Like they can carry on Iron Man as a huge property now. We had talked about him being a B character before.
Hmm.
He's definitely not a B character anymore as far as movies go. I don't know how that translates into comics anymore. I'm sure he's
They said that he's now the linchpin for Marvel Comics as well.
okay. So they're looking to carry on Iron Man for a very long time. But how long Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, I don't know. I just know I like him as it. So as long as they keep putting him in movies, I will continue to watch him. Um,
I think he's pretty much just for 2 and 3, and that's it. I don't think
yeah.
he's. I know. I thought for sure he wasn't doing any more solo movies, but I guess anything's possible.
And I know we have a couple other things to get into. There was one other little snippet of Marvel stuff, so I'll get into that before we get into the other stuff. I don't know if you have seen the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still,
Nope.
or there's a horror movie called Sinister, which I know you probably didn't see.
Nope.
There's also another horror movie coming out called Deliver Us from Evil, which I know you are not going to see.
Right.
The director's
Mhm.
name is Scott Derrickson, and he has been rumored to be in talks for the Doctor Strange movie. Actually, if you pull him up on IMDb, he is named as the director for the Doctor Strange movie.
Mhm.
Um, and I will say I've seen all three of those movies. Well, no, I haven't seen the Deliver Us from Evil movie because it's not out yet. But I would see it just because I liked Sinister, and The Day the Earth Stood Still was okay, except for a couple things that they left out from the original. But I'm okay with that. I like the looks of his movies, so if that comes over to a Doctor Strange movie and into the Marvel universe, I'm okay with that. Like it's a darker look. Um,
Well, I mean, Doctor Strange, as it is obviously a bit of a darker. He's not going to be. I mean, I would expect that type of mood, and I would think this type of a director is a good choice for it because, I mean, I don't think it'll be a horror movie,
no,
but I think it's just going to be much darker toned.
yeah,
Hopefully, not so much that it's rated R or anything like that. I still hope it has its, kind of the Marvel Disney. Well, it's from Disney, so I don't know how many R-rated Disney movies there
oh,
are.
there's tons of them.
Okay. Name
No,
one.
Bambi. It's got to be
No,
R.
I think you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
No, it's so I look forward to it. I just wish they would name whoever Doctor Strange is going to be. Although I heard that that's probably going to come out around the 1st of August or so.
Yeah, and you actually left. Well, everything started going on with you right as some rumors came out. There was Benedict
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch,
Would be great.
and oh god, Tom Hardy. who played Bane,
Yeah, who played Bane? I
which
don't like
I
him.
completely discounted. You had your chance. Um, I'm not okay with that. I think that Cumberbatch.
I don't think he fits the character. He looks a little too,
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think he
know,
does
buff
either.
and big. I mean, Cumberbatch would be awesome. I mean, he to me would be my second choice over Depp.
Yeah.
Uh, I wish
Um,
Depp would do it. That he would be perfect. But I don't that if they're not even rumoring him, if they suddenly
yeah,
came out
that's
and said it was him, I would be shocked.
yeah, that's really slowed down on the rumor mill. But it could be Marvel playing a good game too.
That'd be interesting,
Because he is a big star for them to catch for one of their movies.
right?
So I mean, if they, maybe that's something that the good old Marvel keeping it under wraps. Yeah, we're gonna look at these other guys and we're gonna let it out that we're talking to them, but maybe they have something in there. Maybe they have the ace up their sleeve, so to say. But yeah, Hardy, I was like, no. As soon as I saw that Cumberbatch, they put it next to his face next to a Doctor Strange comic, and he kind of has the same facial feature from the picture that they picked anyway. I don't really know which one that is. As far as time wise, who drew it or whatever. Um, but yeah, I would definitely be okay with him. But I think that was it for Marvel stuff.
By the way, just one thing on the Benedict Cumberbatch. Have you seen the BBC Sherlock series that he's in?
No, I've wanted to.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, it's weird because there's only like 3 episodes per season,
Hmm.
but they're an hour and a half long or an hour and 40 minutes long, and they
Yeah,
play like mini movies. They're so good.
I think
I
isn't that
cannot
how
recommend it.
series go over in the UK? Like
Yeah,
they're
I
only
think
like three,
there's.
like 6 parts or something, and then they go away, and maybe they come back for a second series or whatever.
Yeah, they play it a little bit more like, well, we'll do this, and we've got this story in mind, and it's going to only take us this long to do it, so we're going to do it that way. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, then it takes. I mean, it took between seasons 2 and 3 of Sherlock a year and a half, I think.
Hmm.
So, or maybe even 2 years. So yeah, they take their time. But hey, if they're going to put out quality stuff, then it's worth it. I'm in the middle. I have not seen the last episode of the current season 3, but I was watching it right in the middle. I had to go down to Texas, so.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you haven't seen them, I highly, highly, highly recommend them. They're very. I mean, to me, they're at the level of Breaking Bad as far as quality. Just really, really good stuff.
Okay. I will definitely. I've wanted to check it out. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Um, Also, I know this is something that you're not interested in that much, or I don't know, maybe not. Dragon Ball Z um, is coming back with a movie, and not a live action movie, but a actual animated cartoon movie like the series from the original creator. And so it being from the original creator was my big point on this movie that I wanted to see it. It's only going to have a release date of 4 days, I believe, in theaters. Um,
Really?
and it's only being seen in like 350 theaters in the U.S. or something like that. Um,
Okay, so
so it's just
explain something to me, just because I don't really know anything about Dragon Ball Z.
okay.
What is the difference between it and Pokemon?
I believe a lot. I think Pokemon is where Pokemon is like I don't even know how they do Pokemon anymore. I think they're like little creatures trapped in balls and they fight
Right.
or something like that. This is
Dragons trapped in balls?
no this
Oh,
the Dragon Balls. If you collect all the Dragon Balls, you can summon the dragon and get 3 wishes. But they're like scattered all over the place and they're hard to find.
so you got to catch them
Where
all?
you got to catch them all.
Hmm.
But the actual characters have their own powers and techniques and stuff that they
It
use.
sounds
So
exactly like Pokemon.
no,
It's
no,
exactly like.
no, because Pokemon is some kid with a book bag with little balls, and he throws the balls out, and they kind of fight. Like his
No,
little
and
creatures
each
fight.
one has the creature, and they each one have their own unique powers, and you
Well,
got
no,
to
they
get
don't.
them all.
But they don't have. No, they don't have a creature though.
Yeah, they
So
do.
it's like Mortal Kombat. If you think of it in terms of each person, it's like an actual person fighting. They don't have something fighting for them.
What? In Dragon Ball Z, you mean?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
it's like, imagine the Justice League
Uh huh.
or the Avengers with like shooting energy orbs and stuff like that. Um,
Okay. Well, I
it's
didn't know that.
yeah, the series usually take a really long time. These movies wrap up things, within the movie time frame. Not a lot happens if you're watching like the series as an episode, but and if you have to wait week to week, that was usually horrifying for me as a child, because nothing happened, and then I want to know what happened because everything happens right in the last like 2 seconds. Um, Leaves you with the Breaking Bad cliffhanger. So this movie is coming out. It looks really cool. Like I said, it's from the original creator, so that gives me hope that it's going to be as good as the series was. It's not someone coming in and go, oh, well, here's my take on this series or blah blah blah. So I have a lot of hope for this movie. Also, they had announced that they're gonna reboot Scooby-Doo. I guess why the hell not?
I didn't know.
I don't really have a lot to say about it. The live-action movies weren't astoundingly great. I mean, I like them.
I remember seeing a couple of these. Maybe just the first one. I don't know. And the kids were watching it. I didn't think it was half bad. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
To me, calling it a reboot, I guess maybe that's just a buzzword to use. But I would have just said they're making another Scooby-Doo movie.
Yep.
And with I mean, is anybody really going to miss
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Freddie Prinze Jr. playing
Fred? He played Fred.
Fred. Okay. See, I don't know the character other than Shaggy, and Scooby and Thelma. I don't even know Daphne. Okay, maybe I do know their names.
There you go.
I don't think anybody's gonna notice that they're different actors or care. So calling it a reboot is funny to me, but
yeah.
Okay.
So that was announced. And then the last thing we got that isn't DC movie related. Amazon had a big press conference, and the Amazon Fire Phone is official. It happened. It is coming to AT&T exclusively. It is going to drag you into a whole 3D interface, which is actually Android based. But they're going to use Amazon's App Store. There's a whole slew of things that are good and bad about this that I've touched on the site. So
let's call this what it really is.
This
is your handheld Amazon checkout device.
Yep.
Because of the whole take a picture of anything and boom, you can buy it on Amazon. That's the thing I got most out of the video that announced its features. That 3D thing, who cares? Does that interest you? I mean, it's neat looking, but
it doesn't. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't interest me only because it's an Android platform that has a skin on it, and like I've said before, I like things to be simple. I like things to be how they are on Google's devices. And they don't do a lot of extra flashy stuff that they don't need. They just kind of do what is actually needed. Where to me, this phone is with the 3D interface, like I don't know if it's their CEO or head developer or whoever he was, but he kept saying like, this is how this should work. Why wouldn't you do this? This makes sense. But, like, yeah, it makes sense, but it's still overcomplicating something that could be a lot simpler. You're doing it because you feel it looks cool and it works with your device, and you want your device to be set apart from iPhone, from Google's actual like Play Store devices that have the vanilla Android, or your Samsung devices who have all your gimmicky things that come out every time they release a new phone. I don't know if you had heard the other podcast while you were gone. Samsung is releasing a 7-inch phone now, which is basically a tablet in your pocket.
Yeah.
HTC, everybody has their own skins for things. This is just another skin over Android, and you're adding a bunch of stuff that you think is cool. And the thing that just really bothered me about this phone, as I had written, was you have a skinned Android device running quote unquote Kindle OS or Fire OS, or what do they call it?
Whatever they call it.
And you're not including the Play Store. Like Amazon's App Store is no joke, really. I think they did a press release of, oh, we're going to have 240,000 apps. That's nothing to laugh at, but I mean, when you look at Apple or Google, who you're using their OS anyway, really in a way, you're not carrying their Play Store, which has over easily millions of apps. And you can buy Google apps through Amazon Store, but you're not getting those updates and using those Google services. Like, it just seems like, you're straying a little bit too far away from what you actually are. Like, just call yourself what you are, and do it the right way. I think it's going to be like a really niche product for people.
Yeah, I didn't see anything in there that's just. I don't want to like flip my phone, in some direction to turn a page or whatever it does. I'm fine with just a finger swipe. That's cool.
Yep.
I can do that.
I am too.
I think some of these things just, like you just said, it's just a gimmicky thing to say, look what we can do. But I didn't, I like Amazon. I'm not knocking it. I actually kind of like the idea that I could take a picture of something and then be able to order it pretty easily. But, that's all it really turns out to be. Is like, here's a way for people to buy stuff from us easier by putting out a phone. It's amazing.
Yeah, and like I said, for the prices of it, it's $199 or $299 depending on the size, storage, $649 off contract, and I mean, for my money, like I said, I would just buy the phone I have, which is dropped down to like $99 or something like that. My Moto X, like, I love it, and with this phone, it's just like they. I guess they want to set themselves apart because they did the Fire TV. They have their Kindle Fire and everything. So, I mean, they're trying to get their customer who uses their products, just like people use either usually all Apple or all Android or whatever have you. They're trying to do the same thing, and I commend them for that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just think it's, I want to see what they do after they're not attached to someone. Like, they partnered with AT&T on this. I want to see what happens if they actually go out on their own, and what they do with it from there. I won't buy one. I want to play with one to be more knowledgeable about the interface, but I wasn't like, oh my god, I have to have it. And I'm not a big tech whore anymore. I meant not tech, but specs whore. I like functionality over having the fastest whatever. I've had the fastest whatever at some points, and it's worse than something that works great functionality-wise. But they announced that, so we're going to see how that goes when it launches.
I'll just stick with my iPhone.
Yeah, you'll stick with your iPhone. I'll stick with my Android.
Yeah, I mean,
and we'll be perfectly happy.
The thing with the iPhone, I'm sure there are other phones that are nice, maybe cheaper or whatever, but I've got so many apps and stuff tied to my iPhone that I have a fair amount invested, even at 99 cents an app. Yeah. So why would I? And plus, I've got an iPad, so I can use those apps on there. So I don't really see any reason for me to switch over. And they're going to have a new one out, I don't know, sometime coming up soon, and it'll be a little bit bigger screen, probably match what the other guys are doing. But as long as it's not iPad size, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I can't even see. I think you posted a picture when you posted the story about the bigger Samsungs. And it just looks like someone's talking to a clipboard.
Yes.
Stupid. Like, they're giants. Yeah. Help me, I'm shrinking. But, so anyway.
I shrunk the kids.
Yeah, but not quite there yet.
The only thing nice that they did, since they did partner with a carrier, and they couldn't really give anything away through the carrier with the phone, was if you do get one of these phones, you get a free year of Amazon Prime with all the features included. If you are already a Prime member, like you are, you get a free year on top of whenever your subscription expires. So next year you wouldn't have to pay for Prime; you would get it free for a year.
Wow.
So I mean, that was something nice that they kind of did, because we had a little talk about how when you were gone, that Amazon doesn't really, they take a lot of their money and they put it back into the company. They don't really, make a ton of money off of everything, even though they do make a lot of money. But
Well, they'll make their money in people impulse buying by using the phone.
yes. So let's get on to DC here.
Boom.
Let's go with what time we have left here. DC movie
Speaking of
lineup.
speaking of overpopulating the marketplace,
DC had a leak of their movie lineup, which was kind of confirmed. I don't know if it's been fully confirmed at this point.
I think it's fairly.
I know Kevin Smith had chimed in about it, and said kind of, yeah, that's what I heard or whatever, and or that was what he knew. So the DC lineup for movies, what we have so far coming up is Batman versus Superman, and then we have Shazam and Sandman, which are slated for 2016.
all three of them.
All three of them. And then Justice League, Wonder Woman, and Flash/Green Lantern team-up movie in 2017. Finally, in 2018, there is going to be the true Man of Steel sequel.
All right, so stop right there. This is something that I did not realize, and maybe they've changed their mind or they've changed something, but I thought we have always kind of gone under the assumption that Batman vs Superman was Man of Steel 2.
Correct. And I am better with that now.
I am too. But although I'm still
worried.
I guess it's a word. I kind of wish they do Man of Steel 2 first, but that's okay. I guess we'll see. See how it turns out. But 6 movies in 2 years.
Yeah,
well, if you don't count next year. Yeah, 3 years. That's a lot of movies. And so Batman vs Superman also has the tagline of the dawn of justice. So
yes,
it's kind of the prequel to the Justice League, which is fine.
Which we've had a lot of other characters mentioned.
Right. So you got the Aquaman. What's that dude's name?
Wonder Woman, Aquaman, who is Jason Momoa. Momoa, I believe. You would know him from Game of Thrones as of recent. I think he was on Baywatch when I looked him up.
Okay. So
he's been in a lot of different things.
Right.
Stargate, I think, one of the Stargates, stuff like that. So he was announced as Aquaman for this movie. We have had Cyborg mentioned.
Yep. Flash too, right? Was Flash supposed to be in there or not? As least cameo?
I thought he was.
So many names have been tossed around on this.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just seeming like a big jumble of, oh my god, please just back up a little bit. But
well, now that it's not Man of Steel 2, I do feel better about it. I think, okay, well, then maybe they're doing something here and they're not. This is just a completely separate thing, which, okay, I'm okay with that.
It's ambitious.
Yeah. Shazam is an interesting, like, why not do a Flash movie or a Green Arrow movie or something? Shazam is a weird one.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't know if we've really talked about this before. Shazam has been, I don't know, teased or talked about for years and years and years now, that they've wanted to do it. But with the resurgence of Superman movies, starting with the one before Man of Steel, that one a few years ago, whatever that was, 7, 9, somewhere in there maybe. Starting there, that crushed Shazam happening. Then Man of Steel crushed Shazam happening at those points in time, because the characters are semi-similar in power set, I guess, was my understanding from what I read about it. So the interesting thing about this is, and we had spoken about it before, is The Rock was in talks with DC. He has been rumored for, is it Black Adam? When we were talking about it, maybe.
Yep.
Also Shazam, which we know is happening now, so that looks more prominent. Also, we said if they're rebooting Green Lantern as John Stewart, he would be a good fit there too. So where he's gonna fall, I don't know. I would almost go with Green Lantern, but but a standalone movie again, you could give it to him and do Shazam. So I don't know.
I mean,
Um,
he could easily be Shazam. The problem with Shazam is which version of Shazam are we going to get? So the classic one that we've had when we were growing up, or at least when I was growing up, there was a Saturday morning live action Shazam cartoon. So it's Billy Batson. He says the word Shazam, and I'll give you $1 if you can tell me what Shazam stands for.
Me?
Yeah. Well, who else am I talking to?
I don't know. All I know about Shazam is, and what I think I know is that he's like a kid or something, and then he turns into.
Right, he turns into his name used to be Captain Marvel, but I think they've lost the rights to that to Marvel. But
Yeah, I think they did.
um, but Shazam is actually stands for 7 Greek gods that he has the abilities of. So you've got the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the stamina of Atlas, the power of Zeus, I forget which I think it's Achilles is A. Or is it Ares? I don't know. I can't remember what the second A is. And then the speed of Mercury.
See, you
So,
don't even know, and I was supposed to know this.
well, but at least I knew 6 out of the 7. Um, so you put those together, you get Shazam, and then boom. So before it was like Billy Batson would just turn into Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel was kind of his own character, and Billy Batson was his own deal.
Yeah.
Then they kind of blended it where they had Shazam. Billy Batson would say Shazam, turn into Captain Marvel. He'd have the body of Captain Marvel and all the powers of Captain Marvel, but the brain and personality still of Billy Batson, so still of a 12-year-old or however old he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the recent New 52, and I only know this because I listened to the Fat Man on Batman, and they interviewed Jeff Jones. Apparently now he's more of a magic, wielder, and he can perform spells, and his cape is now a hood or some sort. And so I'm curious as to which Shazam they're doing here. I kind of like the idea of the kid changing into the superpowered adult, but still having the kid brain.
Me
I
too.
like that. But so who knows?
And I think with the two obscurities in this lineup being Shazam and Sandman,
Mhm.
that they could use, you know, do that, do the kid to adult, or what
Yeah.
I think they could use both of them because they haven't been announced as they're going to tie these two characters into Justice League in any way, but they said this is like a universe like Marvel, so maybe they will somehow. I don't know.
Well, they could have Shazam in the Justice League. He's been in the Justice League before. I don't know about the new 52 stuff, but certainly in the past he's been a member of the Justice League. So maybe he will be. Sandman, I think, will stand alone. Sandman will be kind of, in my mind, the DC version of Doctor Strange.
Hmm.
Although they could screw up Sandman so many ways if they don't stick to the source material. So that will be kind of interesting. Although I thought I read that they weren't really going to integrate this with the DC universe, but I could have not read that. I don't know. So anyway, so then they'll go to Justice League, then they'll do Wonder Woman. Which why not do Wonder Woman before Justice League or before Sandman or before Shazam for that matter? I don't.
Well, do you think that's how that's going to work? Because I didn't. The way I read them, I didn't think that was the way that they were releasing them. I just thought they were announcing.
Well, no, they say May 2016. It's Batman vs Superman. July the same year Shazam. Christmas Sandman.
Okay.
May 2017 is Justice League. July Wonder Woman. Christmas. Okay. The Flash and a Green Lantern team up.
Okay.
What?
Wait. Now, okay? You're going to be the one who has a problem with this, and I understand. I think why they're going to do this.
Okay.
I think with having to recover, so, and I'm going to say quickly. I'm going to say a reboot of Green Lantern is kind of quick in today's standards for when the Ryan Reynolds one was to now. Because I know it's only been kind of a few years, even though it's been a little bit longer. Like, I'm not saying like 2 or 3 years, but I don't really remember when it came out. But I think for them to recover from that Green Lantern, they're gonna have to throw him in with somebody that they might have a trouble making a movie of for people to want to see, which would be Flash. And I don't think that Flash is a hard character to make a movie for, but I think when you're trying to introduce him to younger fans, maybe Green Lantern Flash makes more sense than either of those two on their own, especially when you have to recover from the last Green Lantern movie.
Well, okay. Well, I got probably a couple questions, but number one among this, okay, if they're gonna do if they need to do a team up, and maybe you're right, maybe it's this whole repairing of Green Lantern, the horrible movie. I don't know, but if you're gonna do a team up with Flash, well, first of all, Flash to me can hold his own movie. So can Green Lantern. They just screwed it up and tried to do too much with the last one they did. I would rather see Green Lantern more prominent in Justice League and leave him alone. They should do. If they're going to do a Green Lantern team up, do it with Green Arrow, because they had a run of epic books as Green Lantern and Green Arrow, and that makes more sense.
And I wonder if that's something that is planned down the road that wasn't announced, only because with what they're doing with the TV series of Green Arrow and Flash being tied in together. If somehow they'll tie in Green Arrow as like a cameo or something, and then go off into like a Green Lantern, Green Arrow movie or something later on.
Well, that's the other thing I don't understand, because Flash is getting his own TV show. So is that going to be the Flash we see in the movies?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's an interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I don't.
Your brain's already melting, and it's not even.
It is, yeah. This is so confusing a little bit to me on what they're throwing out there. I hope it works. I don't have a lot of. I will have very low expectations about every single one of these movies, which is good because that may mean I enjoy them more.
Sure.
I would rather have low expectations. See, like Guardians of the Galaxy, I have kind of high expectations. And it could be a colossal bomb, and I'm going to be disappointed.
Impossible.
No. I want to hold out. I want to try to keep that essence of some pessimism about it, just so I have something I can fall back on and say, well, I didn't think it was going to be this good, type thing.
Has Marvel let you down yet?
Nope, they have not.
Well, see, impossible.
Not in the latest incarnation of their movies. They certainly have not. Marvel Cinematic U.
So so DC, throwing out the movies left and right in the next couple of years, I guess. I don't know. I'm afraid of it, but I'm not. I'm kind of glad that they're going to push so many movies out, because it's it's not going to leave me waiting very long to know what's happening next. And if they're trying to push all these out at once, like within the 2-year span that it will be, it leaves me to believe that they have something bigger planned that they can slow down after this is all done.
What though? What are they slowing down to? The only other thing they talked about was a Metal Men and a Suicide Squad movie. Those have fallen off the schedule. So they were talking about it. Maybe it'll be on there, but it's beyond 2018. You already have Justice League in 2017. To me, that's the opinion of what they get to. Yeah. So I don't really know what they would be building toward. I don't know. Well, the only thing they could be building toward would be a Batman solos, new reboot of Batman.
Reboot of Batman, Justice League. They'll sprinkle those out, I think, a little bit more.
That'd be interesting.
Because the understanding is that Batman vs Superman is going to be full of like cameo type,
right?
Leading up to the Justice, where it's not going to be, hey, here's all these people, we're going to have a team. Well, by the end of that movie, that's what it'll be, and then it'll lead into the Justice League movie. Wonder Woman, I'm glad to see that there will be a standalone Wonder Woman movie. Done right, hopefully.
Yeah.
And like I said, I understand the Green Lantern Flash team up. I really think it's more of, like I said, I understand how they'll do a Flash movie standalone, but I think in terms of tickets and stuff like that, like hey, we're gonna reboot Green Lantern. We need somebody with him. Well, Flash needs to be in there somewhere. So this is a good starting point to put these two characters together and make something.
Well, you gotta assume that the Flash and Green Lantern will be in Justice League.
Yes. Yeah.
So they'll already been introduced. The question is it worth it to do a so see that they're banking a lot here, like where we were talking earlier, Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel is playing a wait and see on what they will do with these characters beyond this one movie.
hmm
But here DC's like, oh well, Justice League will be a hit, we're gonna have Flash and Green Lantern, we're good.
Yeah.
I it just seems a bit premature,
Yeah.
and none of these things seem to blend much together other than Batman, Superman, Justice League, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern. I mean, I guess that all is, but the Shazam and Sandman are kind of out of left field.
Yeah. And to me, the order for I don't know what you want to call that. If we put this into like 3 phases or whatever, or according to years, if you're going to call like the second part of it Phase 2 with the Justice League, it seems like you would have the Wonder Woman movie and the Flash Green Lantern movie before before the Justice League movie. That way, in case they didn't do all that well, I guess not. I guess you want the Justice League movie to do the best. So if those two didn't do that well, maybe less people would go see the Justice League movie if you put that movie last.
True.
But it just seems like you're really, like you said, you're really banking on Justice League doing really well, and then you're counting on people to want to go see Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash afterwards instead of, next year you have the Superman, and then who knows what you're doing with the Batman series.
Yeah, I mean, what if Justice League is a phenomenal flop, and you've already got Wonder Woman? I mean, Wonder Woman will be done because it comes out 2 months after Justice League, and then Flash and Green Lantern is Christmas of that year, so that'll pretty much be done. If Batman vs Superman is a complete and total bomb, I wonder if they do
direct to DVD.
Yeah. If it goes, hey, let's give some credit to DC. The one thing they have done right when it comes to film version is their cartoons.
Yes.
Their cartoons are badass, and I've started watching a few of those, and they've done a really good job of that. Way better than Marvel has. But because some of them, like I was listening to Fat Man on Batman, and he was going on about the animated version of Batman Returns, the Frank Miller classic, and how much he said that's the best Batman movie he's ever seen. Which I haven't watched this yet, so I may have to watch it. But they've done really well with their animation, and only so far, Man of Steel I liked. I wouldn't say it was my most favorite thing ever, but it was entertaining. But that's the beginning, right? That's the start of their cinematic universe, and we have only seen one movie that didn't blow my socks off, not like Iron Man did, which was the very first of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That blew my socks off. That was just far and away a great movie. And Man of Steel was good, a little too grim for my taste in Superman, but gotta see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. I think Justice League, regardless, will do good numbers-wise just because people want to go see what they're doing with it.
If Batman and Superman is a semi-hit,
which I think it will be. I think again, well, maybe I'm putting myself ahead of myself there. I think Batman Superman will be something that everybody will go see just to see what's going on. And then, however they leave that at the end, if they leave that at the end where you want more, where you're like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? Type, not that I need more Batman Superman, but with introducing all these characters and everything, where you're like, oh my god, at the end of it, then Justice League will be kind of the same thing. If the Batman Superman movie is kind of, it was all right, I still think Justice League will do good, but I just think the offshoots of the Wonder Woman, the Flash, and the Green Lantern movies are gonna almost be like Yeah, well, here's something to hold you over until the next Superman movie, which will hopefully be better.
Right.
Um, hopefully they'll go further with it or whatever they need to do.
It's just
Um,
interesting to see all these things planned out that far. I mean, that many that far in advance. I mean, Marvel has announced that Ant-Man is finally getting underway, and then they're talking Doctor Strange, but they don't have really anything tied down for sure. The only thing they've got tied down for sure is obviously Avengers: Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, and that's it. And you're going to
yep.
have Avengers 3. But they still haven't confirmed the third for Phase 3. Is that Black Panther? Is that Black Widow solo? Is it a Hulk? I mean, they're talking now maybe a
Yeah.
Hulk solo, which would be fine. They do
Yeah,
it
I'd
right.
be fine with that now.
Yeah. But so but they don't, or at least now I say all this. San Diego Comic Con is coming up soon. That's when all this stuff is officially, formally thrown out there. We'll see
Yeah.
trailers from stuff we not don't know anything about, and we'll hear all. They saved this stuff now for the Comic Con, for the San Diego Comic Con. So, and that's what, in 2 months, I think. Is that in July? So
Mm,
I don't
yeah.
remember when that is. But anyway, when that comes out, that's when we're gonna really get the official. I'm sure that's when Marvel will announce for sure, probably who Doctor Strange will be, and then and whatever else they want to throw out there.
Okay, Kevin, I didn't want to spoil anything, but I know who Doctor Strange is.
Who?
It's me.
Oh man, they
I'm
really
gonna
went
be
all.
Doctor Strange.
They
The
went
movie's gonna
all.
be completely horrible. It's gonna be the first Marvel movie that you hate.
July
Uh,
24th and 27th. That's when Comic Con is, and that's when we will find out that what you just said is a lie, a dirty lie.
yes, it is. I just wanted to put it in the rumor mill.
But every
Um,
single one of these tickets to the Comic Con are sold out already.
oh, well, see, and you only need to buy one. Oh,
Well, that and also flight out there and place to stay. I don't think
yeah.
I'd want to go to these things. These things like they get so massively crowded that
I think I would like to do New York.
yeah,
Just because
close.
you know, yeah, it's closer, and it seems like from what I hear, it's you know, what San Diego should be, minus all the um, unneeded advertisement stuff.
I
Uh,
don't know. I mean, let's not. I would love to go to the San Diego Comic Con. It would be amazing. I went to before it became the Comic Con, and it was in San Diego. I think it was in San Francisco, and I went to that, and it was still a pretty big deal then. This is in '88, but
Man,
yeah, but
I was in kindergarten.
whatever. So this is a much bigger deal now, and it's just I'm not a big fan of humongous crowds. That's why if there was
Yeah,
somewhere I could go and I have like a I don't know a luxury room that I could go to and somehow
Tony Stark it up.
have a pass to get through it to everything, you know. If they had box seat to all the little news conferences they had, that'd be great. I'd like all that. Maybe just a chair up on stage with them. That'd be fine. We could somehow arrange that.
Maybe you could just moderate the panel.
That would also, if they're looking for it, I'm not what's his face, Nerdist guy, who probably
Chris Hardwick.
yeah, he probably the one that actually does that stuff. I don't know,
He
but
does a lot of it. I forget who the other guy is who does a lot of it, but yeah.
all
There's
right.
there's like two or three different guys unless somebody brings their own, but
Well, I think Kevin Smith has done some of those, right?
I would imagine. Uh, I don't really know. I would imagine though. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would go to it. I think I would. It would be further down the road, and I don't know. It seems like I hear so much negative stuff about it, even though that's where all the big stuff happens anyway. Uh, Anymore, it's like everybody, oh, go to New York. It's what San Diego should be, but I mean, it
That's
just seems that everything big happens at San Diego. So
right.
if you
It's
could go
hipster.
and go to those panels, then yeah, it would be amazing.
It's become cool that it's not so cool anymore. That's what I look at that. So, but oh well, that's okay. There's
Um,
a heck of a lot of creators going, so
Yeah.
They're not
Uh,
into that.
so I think that about wraps everything up. DC, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Amazon, we're gonna see when their phone comes out. Marvel, hopefully releasing some stuff soon. Until then, we will be back again. It seems like Kevin is back for a while, and we are glad to have you back, sir. So,
Thank you.
until next time, keep the streets safe, you hit the heroes.
Later.